Chapter 7, Social Media Success. And for today's salesperson, the buzz around social media and why it is important for dealerships and salespeople. Social media goes hand in hand with word-of-mouth advertising. If you want to be the topic of today's conversation, then you have to be present, in person and virtually. With the amount of social media platforms available today, it can be difficult to find the time to manage conversations and interactions with your networks in between sales activities and making calls. However, reality is, your voice and brand will spread even further with social media. The goal of this chapter is to give you a competitive advantage with social media in order to maximize your sales opportunities. Topics of interest include current platforms available today, how to use the platforms, a few sample strategies, and the benefits to building an online community. A well-balanced playbook should delicately balance traditional marketing tactics with new social tactics, which is why we are giving you the buzz on how to be socially successful. Before we dive in, it is important to understand how much time you are willing to invest, your purpose for interacting, your target audience, key topics that interest your audience, and identifying the platforms your audience is currently using. The quest to be social is not about you, but rather about your customers, and giving them the attention and information that they need in order to feel a connection to your products and services. There are many advantages to using social media, like cultivating leads, expanding customer reach and brand recognition, identifying and setting market trends, building a loyal fan base, driving website traffic, and building competitive advantage. Experts debate over whether or not social media really is a selling tool. In reality, it is, and it isn't. Can you sell to a lead generated over social media? Yes. Should you? Yes. Can you give a 24/7 sales pitch over social media? The overall purpose of social media is not to sell, but rather build a community that will help you market your brand. Therefore, you should target followers that will engage with you, are potential prospects, offer referrals, and will ultimately share your product/service announcements and reviews with their 500-plus connections. Tapping into other people's network connections is free word-of-mouth advertising, which is the best kind of advertising any company could ask for. Prior to starting, it is important to understand your expectations, level of commitment, and reason for investing the time, energy, and money. By planning a strategy up front, you can better measure your end results. Start by asking yourself, is my objective to build a brand, generate leads, educate and share ideas, be an industry influencer, obtain news, monitor people, influencers, conversations, promote and/or sell products and services, listen, engage, and communicate with potential customers, or a combination of any of the above? Step 2. Find your voice and your tone. Your voice is what you decide to share, facts, information, and your tone is how you decide to share it. Professional, humorous. Identify unique qualities that make you and your brand different. Once you find an angle that is interesting and exclusive to you and/or your dealership, activate your approach to test it out. Monitor the response and feedback in order to decipher if your angle is working or not. Refer to Step 6 for more details on measuring ROL. Refer to Step 7 to learn how to prepare for a negative PR response. It is important to understand and know that most everything you publish online over social media is accessible to the public. Not only are you representing yourself, but also the dealership. Topics to avoid include controversial subjects like religion, gun control, politics, negative statements about your competition, basically any information that can come back to haunt you. In short, do not share something that you will later regret down the road. It would be in your best interest to understand the dealership's social media and legal policies detailing what can and cannot be shared. Step 3. Brainstorm topics of interest. Identify topics that your audience can relate to. Being social is all about giving your customers the attention and information they need in order to feel connected to your brand. Content should be split as 80-20. 20% of the time you should be promoting your products and services with clear call to actions. The other 80% of the time should be dedicated to content that interests and engages your target audience. Content that naturally prompts participation and feels personable and welcoming. People use social media to be social, not to be sold to. Quality traits to have include knowledge of service, product, and industry, listening to customer wants and needs, asking good questions, keeping in touch and engaging with clients and prospects. Types of content to consider: infographics, Vine and YouTube video clips, photos, industry statistics and facts, graphs and charts, breaking local, global, and industry news, personalized bitstrip, jib-jab, or e-card messages. Step 3. Brainstorm topics of interest. Conti. Topics for dealerships might include customer referrals and feedback, automotive body shop specialties, new and sold inventory, dealership events, community contributions, etc., promotions, deals, and upcoming sales, interest rates and lenders, tips for fuel economy, gas mileage, and prices, dealership statistics, facts, history, and milestones, dealership key messaging, specific brand facts, news, commercials, and ads as promoted by manufacturers, employee highlights, promotions, accomplishments, and advancements, getting the most out of a trade-ins, accessing and understanding credit scores, traffic reports, road conditions and transportation infrastructure, financing process and infrastructure, guidance on selecting vehicle insurance, saving money when buying or leasing a vehicle. Topics for salespeople could include customer referrals and feedback, reviews, pictures and/or video footage, new and sold inventory, motivational and inspirational quotes, dealership events, promotions, deals, and upcoming sales, specific vehicles aimed at potential buyers. Every time a deal is made with an excited, appreciative customer, take a picture with them in front of or in their new vehicle and include a 1 to 2 sentence review. For those extra ambitious salespeople, consider recording your customer giving the review. Reason being, approximately 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, and visuals are processed 60,000 times faster in the brain than Text Source 3, M Corporation, and Zabisco. Rich visual content gets more views, more opens, and better responses than text alone. For those of you questioning video, consider this. Viewers are 85% more likely to purchase a product after watching a product video. Source: Internet Retailer. A good video example of this can be viewed at Mercedes-Benz of Chandler, Arizona, Sprinter, at www.chandler.mbsprinterdealer.com. Step 4. Join the social media services that your target audience is on. Select and join social media platforms that allow you to connect with your target audience. To identify where your audience is, ask them or conduct a free online survey to find out by using SurveyMonkey. www.surveymonkey.com. The wave of new available platforms can be a bit overwhelming. To keep it simple, the focus will be on the more popular social media platforms available today: Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Step 5. Stay current. Research trending topics and be present, even when you can't be. Pre-schedule posts on your social media accounts to stay connected even when you technically are not able to be present with free platforms like Hootsuite or Buffer. If you dedicate 1 hour every Monday morning to filling up your content for the week, a minimum of 4 to 6 tweets per day, 2 to 3 posts to LinkedIn per week, and 2 to 3 posts to Facebook per week, you will slowly start to build a social foundation. In order to meet your posting criteria, you must have something to say, something to share. Use the resources available to you to repurpose content, build discussion off of trending automotive topics, or simply use your own words of wisdom. Either way, be creative and interesting. Find credible sources to quote or cite, like Automotive News Incorporated and Motor Trend. In your first month, try sharing different types of content at different times throughout the week to monitor both interaction and identify high traffic times. Several social media platforms have built-in insights and/or data embedded directly into the post, allowing you to see impressions which you can in turn use to measure your audience's behavior. After you begin to notice a pattern, be available when they are. To build a community, you have to be present. Identify the times that your audience is likely to be online to interact with you. Keep in mind that each social media platform varies per target audience, however. There are some high-level, overarching rules that you can start following in order to identify high traffic times. Step 6. Measure effectiveness and ROI. On a monthly or quarterly basis, assess how far your networks have come and whether or not you have reached the goals you set out to accomplish. Determine whether or not you are seeing a return on the time, money, and energy you have invested. If no return can be measured or validated, consider altering your strategy. If these top three platforms aren't working for you, consider trying other popular networks like Instagram, Pinterest, Google, YouTube, Vine, and Flickr. Another free platform that serves dual purposes is bit.ly. It shortens long website links to save space and tidy up the appearance of a message, as well as tracks the number of click-throughs and traffic accessing your material. Tracking engagement shows you the content that your audience finds valuable. Another way to measure your engagement is by setting up a clout account. You can measure your clout, www.clout.com, to track where you rank in your social media quest. Cloud scores range from 1 to 100, with 100 being the best score possible. A typical Cloud score average ranges between 40 and 50. For dealerships that are truly interested in benchmarking online social media, website, print, and an overall campaign's progress, consider investing in a platform that allows you to do just that, i.e., HubSpot, Pardot for Salesforce, and Infusionsoft. Step 7. Be prepared to handle negative press. Let's face it, we never know when a crisis will happen, which makes a majority of work from a significant crisis responsive. A crisis could be associated to a direct result of poor customer service, a legal dispute, natural disaster, product recall, basically anything adverse that can be attributed to the integrity of a company. Dealerships using social media should be prepared to handle bad press, interactions, and feedback. Knowing how to handle and respond to a situation beforehand makes the situation more manageable. No matter the source of the negative PR, it is always good to have a plan in place to make reacting seem like a form of art, rather than a stampede. The pre-plan in most cases will not be the exact answer needed at the time of crisis, but it will rather guide your actions in the midst of a crisis. Learn how to minimize reputation damage and prevent further exposure by preparing a crisis communications plan. Form a crisis communications team. Identify a team of crisis experts that represent different areas of the company and add value from different standpoints. Legal services, public affairs, finance, owners, and senior management is a good start to forming such a team. Each member needs a clearly defined role that outlines their contribution goals and responsibilities in order to prevent future complications during crisis decision-making times. It is good practice to stay organized with a group email distribution list and a private team folder on a file share. Another option is to have a team share site that could host the team organization chart with contact information, situational strategies per level of risk, the process flowchart map to match the risk, as well as examples of prior crisis communications for reference. For those experiencing high volumes of crisis, I recommend looking into crisis management platforms, such as Earshot by Mission Mode, www.missionmode.com. Identify potential crisis threats and plan in advance. The crisis communication team should pre-identify potential threats that could happen and categorize them in order to measure the level of risk. I recommend having a 6-gauge meter in place that defines low threat, moderate risk, high risk, very high risk, extreme threat, and critical damage. Each level of risk needs an action plan in place that defines the type of threat and the appropriate communication management process. For instance, for high risk and above situations, it would probably be wise to notify the dealership owner and other executive level management team members to make them aware of the situation. Twitter 101. How to effectively use Twitter. Twitter is an online social networking and microblogging service that enables users to send and read tweets, which are text messages limited to 140 characters. It is considered by many experts to be the most popular platform worldwide and is known as the most authentic place to break news. In fact, over 1 billion tweets are sent every 48 hours, and that number is growing. Twitter's real-time news feed is an awesome resource for learning facts and finding news on the fly. Use Twitter to share brand information, answer support questions, showcase industry knowledge, and engage in different conversations to build followers and credibility. Salespeople could also use the tool to follow motivational speakers and sales consultants to boost daily inspiration. Using Twitter is as easy as sending a text message. However, for first-time Twitter users, It can take time to learn the language and functionalities. Interaction on Twitter. Engage with other people by retweeting, favoriting, replying, direct messaging, and tweeting to other Twitter members. Retweeting is great for building content credibility and helping others share their content. Favoriting allows you to bookmark a tweet for later review, serve as a testimonial section to your products/services, attract new followers, and showcase tweets you like. It is most commonly used as a way to say thanks to people sharing your content or serves as a signal that you have read a message. Replying to a tweet starts a conversation trail or a thread of tweets all tied to the primary tweet. When you are mentioned in a tweet, you can view this in your Mentions tab and track people using your Twitter handle account name in order to respond. Direct messaging is a private conversation between you and another Twitter member. People often use it to call attention to new ideas, share articles, and thank them for following. You can automate direct messages to new followers through tools like Twitter Mass DM and Tweet Manager. However, automated messages are not only frowned upon, but come across as spammy, cold, and impersonal. When starting a new tweet with an account name at Kelly LeVere, Twitter treats this message as a reply to another Twitter member, which means only the people who will see this tweet in their feed are the two people mentioned and anyone who follows both of those accounts. To make the tweet public, simply put a period in front at Kelly LeVere, or add a message first to push the account name back, i.e. Mrs. at Kelly LeVere, or hashtag Happy Friday at Kelly LeVere. Other rules of the road: use images and video clips as often as possible, capitalize article titles throughout, and use hashtags. Common slang hashtags to know include, but are not limited to, hashtag FF, Follow Friday, hashtag RT, Retweet, hashtag HT, Hat Tip, hashtag TBT, Throwback Thursday, and hashtag DYK, Did You Know? A retweet is someone else's tweet that you chose to share with all of your followers. Retweeting is an excellent way to showcase content relevant to your area of interest. It displays engagement with other Twitter followers and overall builds credibility. There are key ways to retweet. Retweet. This will auto-post the original source and content within the tweet to your account feed by a simple click of the button. This is a sound option for updating your feed when you have little time or when you want to give recognition. It is a great honor on behalf of the source to get a retweet. However, with that said, do not clog up your personal feed with retweets from other accounts, because then your feed will become a billboard for other users and your content will get lost. Quote, mobile only. A quote tweet places quotation marks around the text and also allows the original tweet to be edited. There are several benefits to quoting versus retweeting. One of which is that a quote tweet will post as you being the source. Be sure to give credit to the content provider, i.e. RT via at Kelly LeVere or HT at Kelly LeVere, RT equals retweet, HT equals hat tip. Another reason to quote tweet is that you can add content to the tweet if enough characters are left. Take a look at the example below. Old-fashioned copy and paste. Copy and paste the content into your composer box and adjust the content from there. Example, tweets. Original tweet by @TrueCar, top 10 new leasing and financing incentives, .bit.ly/104 DIP 3-star. Retweet sample 1 by @subprime DS RT, top 10 new leasing and financing incentives, .bit.ly/104 DIP3 via @TrueCar. Retweet sample 2 by @subprime DS, top 10 new leasing and financing incentives, .bit.ly/104 DIP3 RT via @TrueCar. Retweet sample 3 by @subprime DS, top 10 new leasing and financing incentives, .bit.ly/104 DIP3 RT @TrueCar. Retweet sample 4 by @subprime DS, top 10 new leasing and financing incentives, bit.ly/104 DIP3. A must-read for all Auto-NOS dealers, HT @TrueCar. Retweet sample 5 by @subprime DS. Breaking news, RT @TrueCar. Top 10 new leasing and financing incentives, .bit.ly/104 DIP3. Twitter 101, how to effectively use Twitter. Multiple ways to increase followers, purchased versus organic. You can buy followers to look more established, or you can build your network organically, unpaid. More followers means more credibility and further reach. However, keep in mind that quantity doesn't always beat quality. Would you rather have 5,000 followers that never engage or move down the purchase funnel, or 1,000 followers that engage, are potential clients, hot leads, or repeat buyers? If you are looking to develop hot leads, target people and businesses in your community, people that are within your dealership's defined market. You can also pay to run a Twitter campaign that will promote your account and/or specific Twitter posts to certain target audiences in order to gain traction, to build your follower base organically at no cost. Subscribe to Twitter lists or create your own lists to organize tweets and embed yourself in a community of people that have similar needs as you. Post as often as possible. Actively participate and engage with your audience. Typically, more posts is the perfect formula for generating more followers. However, there is a fine line between communicating and being annoying. Follow people that you want to follow you in hopes that they follow back. Retweet posts from users that you want to follow you in hopes that they will. Participate in an online Twitter chat. Chats are pre-scheduled, live, and interactive conversations amongst participants. Consider using Chat Salad, www.chatsalad.com, to find online discussions. Chat Salad is a real-time placeholder and reminder service for the start times of upcoming Twitter hashtag chats. Remember to use the associated chat hashtag in every response in order for the participants to easily find and search your comments. Twitter 101: How to effectively use Twitter to build your follower base organically at no cost. Cont. Subscribe to Twitter lists or create your own lists to organize tweets and embed yourself in a community of people that have similar needs as you. Post as often as possible. Actively participate and engage with your audience. Typically, more posts is the perfect formula for generating more followers. However, there is a fine line between communicating and being annoying. Follow people that you want to follow you in hopes that they follow back. Retweet posts from users that you want to follow you in hopes that they will. Participate in an online Twitter chat. Chats are pre-scheduled, live, and interactive conversations amongst participants. Consider using Chat Salad, www.chatsalad.com, to find online discussions. Chat Salad is a real-time placeholder and reminder service for the start times of upcoming Twitter hashtag chats. Remember to use the associated chat hashtag in every response in order for the participants to easily find and search your comments. Use popular hashtags to gain traction. Frequently used hashtags will appear when you start typing in the first few letters of a word. Use these and use them often. Popular hashtags embed you with the target audience you are trying to attract. People use hashtags in front of relevant keywords or phrases with no spaces in order to categorize tweets, easily identify them in a search, and make words clickable. If you are the last person to tweet a popular hashtag, you will appear first in the search. It is best practice to use 2 to 3 per tweet in any order, beginning, middle, or end. If feeling adventurous, start a new campaign by creating a unique hashtag specific to you, i.e., #Buy with Bob, #The Car Guru, #Auburn's Best Car Deals. Measure your campaigns with a platform like TweetReach, www.tweetreach.com, to track the analytics, including the estimated reach, impressions, exposure, retweets, contributors, and more. Capture leads and showcase your company profile to gain new followers on Twitter by setting up a Twitter card. These cards are used to enhance expanded tweets by creating a call to action for your viewers. Start a free virtual newspaper by opening up a paper.ly account. Paperly is a content curation service that enables people to publish newspapers based on topics they like. Be sure to add your top engagers or influencers to your virtual paper to further drive exposure. Facebook 101: How to effectively use Facebook. Facebook is an online social networking service that allows registered users to create profiles, upload photos and videos, send messages, and keep in touch with friends and family, friends, and colleagues. Critics argue that Facebook will soon lose traction with small to medium-sized businesses due to a new cost structure for paid marketing campaigns. The thought is that these businesses will turn to Google+. One huge advantage of posting to Google+ over Facebook is that Google+ posts build credibility within Google search, further boosting search engine optimization (SEO). Facebook, on the other hand, does not have any influence over SEO, keywords, backlinks, etc. Facebook is still a major platform that establishes a business's credibility, and many people still like to use it to connect, thus making it a viable platform. Fortunately, since dealerships have such a niche target market within a predefined area, there should never be a reason to spend a lot of money on Facebook marketing. Building an audience through organic growth makes the most sense. However, with that said, for a relatively low cost, you can quickly build an audience or expand an audience by using Facebook's promotional tools. Learn how to connect. There are several options to consider as a salesperson when trying to connect with your target audience. You can connect with potential prospects through a current personal account, create a new mock personal account for business purposes, or create a business/fan page for people to like. The difference between a personal account and a business page is that through a personal account you can add clients as friends, and on a business page you get likes. Any options are fine, but consider this. Connecting through a personal page allows customers to see it all. Consider the types of information you will be sharing and whether or not it would benefit and/or negatively affect your audience. Some would argue that mixing business and personal is a mistake, while others see it as allowing customers to further build a relationship with you. If planning to build a business page, meet with your social media and PR team at the dealership to make sure that it does not conflict with their current strategy. If all goes well, the two of you can use each other's accounts to further expand and strengthen your Facebook community. In terms of dealerships, dealers should only have business pages, and if your salespeople are interested in expanding business opportunities through Facebook, let them. The more valuable information that is out there about your company, events, sales, and success, the more your community is apt to notice you. Creative ideas for Facebook sharing. As you may have read in the previous section, here are a few good tips for creative Facebook sharing. Once upon a time, dealerships took photos of customers and mailed them a Polaroid, gave them personalized calendars and/or pinned photos to an internal board. Now salespeople have the ability to achieve the same effect, only using digital methods. Digital media has a longer lifespan, which can turn an ordinary customer into a loyal customer. Consider sharing drive-away videos, video testimonials, and photos. Tag as many as you can to increase exposure. Once tagged, the photos will be placed onto your customer's Facebook page for all of their friends and family to see. This is the power of online referrals. LinkedIn 101. How to effectively use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a business-oriented social networking service for people in professional occupations. Basically, it is an online resume that builds a salesperson's and dealership's credibility. For salespeople, there are a few goals to meet. Complete your profile by 100% to make it current. Connect to and follow your dealership business page to show your commitment to the organization. This also allows your profile to appear on the dealership profile as a connection. People that browse the dealership page could see your profile and reach out. Your first goal should be to connect with at least 500 professionals that you already know. Why 500? Because 500 is the maximum number of connections needed in order to achieve the highest number of connections visible to others. 500 plus. Utilize the summary section to leave a good first impression. Share what motivates you, your drive for success, your qualifications, and the customer service potential clients can expect to receive when working with you. Ask your closest, current, and past colleagues and customers to write a short summary about their experience in working with you. Be specific in what you ask for because then you can expect to get not only the feedback you want, but feedback touching a variety of different topics. For example, ask Joe for a recommendation tailored to work ethic. Ask Martha for a recommendation on exceeding sales goals, and request she include your accomplishments for the quarter. Ask Mike to comment on the customer experience. Other topics might include special project work, event organization, customer service, awards of excellence, volunteering, going above and beyond the call of duty. The list is never ending. Ask your connections to endorse you for your skills. Better yet, go endorse them for their skills, and they will more than likely return the favor. Once you have reached 99 plus endorsements, the tracker taps out, so let 99 per skill set be the goal. This final and most powerful profile booster is a must. Ask your marketing department or find a graphic artist to build images, promotional ads that can be hosted under your current position or summary to make your profile visually appealing. Use these images to call attention to information or links that promote the dealership and/or other personal social media accounts. Few people do this, yet the power it has for a profile is tenfold. Research and connect with special finance professional Wes Crumby, owner of Subprime Dealer Services, or Tom Stuker on LinkedIn to quickly understand the power of adding a few custom images. LinkedIn 101: How to effectively use LinkedIn. Join groups that are related to the automotive and dealership industry, not necessarily to participate in discussion, but rather to build profile credibility for your potential customers. Some groups do require participation to remain an active group member. Simply check the group rules to know what you are signing up for. The true secret to success for your group involvement is not with an automotive dealership group, but rather with the groups tied to your community. Join groups that support community growth, foundations, scholarships, events, etc. Key community influencers are part of these groups. Their networks and the power that they have in their recommendations and referrals go a long way. Build relationships with these folks, even if they aren't in the market to buy in. Hopes that your name will be brought up at the next 20-member board committee or mentioned during a 15-person dinner party. Another method of online participation that requires minimal attention but should be done is to interact with your connections. Occasionally, like a post, comment on a post, share your own post, or congratulate people on their accomplishments, advancements from the newsfeed homepage. Asking people to cold connect on LinkedIn is a thing of the past. Some people do not mind cold connecting without having a prior relationship, but others might be insulted or offended, which is not a good first impression. Consider using alternative resources to warm your connection up. It can take up to 4 or more customer touchpoints before a person even begins to notice you. Try finding them on Twitter and interacting with their Twitter account. It is more socially acceptable to cold connect on Twitter. After interacting a few times over a month on Twitter, try and connect with them on LinkedIn. If you can't find a way to warm up the relationship prior to connecting, send a customized invite tailored to them rather than the standard invite. Personalize it by telling them you read their blog article, saw them on the news, read about them in the paper, or have similar interests in the same organizations. Most importantly, give them a solid value add for connecting. What is it that you can provide them with that nobody else can? LinkedIn 101: How to effectively use LinkedIn. Track and email leads by upgrading your profile. By upgrading your profile, you gain access to unlimited out-of-network email options, as well as the ability to view all of the people that have visited your profile page. LinkedIn email is currently an underutilized email marketing tool. Some people claim to be flooded with LinkedIn email, while others receive little to no email. Those that are receiving little to no email are probably community members that are untapped and available right in your backyard. Use this feature to send out powerful emails that motivate potential clients to connect with you. For people that browse your profile, email them free car buying advice or give them an inside sneak peek to an upcoming dealership sales event. Better yet, use the outbound phone scripts in this training manual to call them and build a personal relationship over the phone. Top 10 Best Practices for Social Media. There are several best practices to consider when it comes to social media. They are there for good reason, but there are a few that should be followed. 1. Repurpose already produced content, but in a different way. Do not copy and paste the same content across every social media platform. Instead, alter the text and/or images based on what you are sharing to make it unique to each platform and community. Do leverage the same content from a different angle. It takes a lot of repetition to have something noticed and to have something learned. 2. Create a consistent, cohesive look across platforms. All of your social media platforms should have a similar look and feel in order to create a visual cohesiveness. This allows your audience to easily recognize your personal or company brand across all platforms. Personalize your links and your profiles. Personalize your brand by customizing your links. Choose an account name and apply that across all platforms, i.e., www.linkedin.com/in/bestdealership. www.twitter.com/bestdealership, www.facebook.com/bestdealership. A complete social media profile will make your account more credible and personable. 4. Don't overconnect. Several social media platforms have back-end algorithms that calculate your number of followers versus your number of following, the number of connections added within a certain time frame, and more. If you overconnect or overfollow, there is a possibility that your account could get shut down, even removed due to suspicion of being a spammer. 5. Share your social links as often as possible. Include social media links in blog posts, email signatures, LinkedIn postings, newsletters, business cards, everywhere. This will increase your exposure. 6. Intrigue your audience with tight, catchy headlines. Words that create a call to action, generate some type of response, and contain trendy keywords are likely to gain traction. A few ideas include: how safe is your, which option do you prefer? The secret to 7 reasons why, and can't keep up? 7. Determine how much time to invest. If you are going to use social media, then you must be present. Determine how much time you are willing to invest each week and be consistent with that time. You can't disappear for a month and expect people to develop a relationship with you. Being available is over half the battle of being successful with social media. 8. Never delete a post. When you have shared something, it is out there. You have the option to delete it, but the post never truly goes away. If you delete it, the post may disappear from your account, but it's still alive and well in the news feed. If somebody clicks to it from the feed, they will get an error. Nobody likes getting an error or a bad link. Therefore, never delete a post. Rather, hide it if given the option to do so. 9. Share your social media accounts. When possible, and if applicable, add your social media icons and/or social feeds directly to your email signature, business cards, promotional banners, website, the list goes on. If your dealership has a staff page, consider adding subpages for staff members in order to showcase their live social feeds and personalize the end-user experience. 10. Give credit where credit is due. Sharing content created by other people and businesses is not only acceptable, but encouraged and appreciated. However, always show courtesy by giving credit to the source.